Hello everybody, I'm back. Can't wait to get back together again. So just enjoy the yoga for 45 minutes and we're gonna start standing in mountain pose. Shoulders, hips, knees and ankles all in line, toes and knees pointed forward, head and neck in line with the spine, chin off your chest. We're gonna do some diaphragmatic breathing to start. Breathe in through your nose, try to fill up your belly. And exhale through your mouth if you can. You know, it's really hard with a mask on, so I did take my mask off. I have permission. We have windows open and nice ventilation. We're distanced. So let's just try to relax. Just get into the yoga pose. Again, this is mountain pose. Back is in a natural curve. Knees are naturally curved, so they're nice and soft. Arms are just dangling by your side. They should be hitting your thighs when they come next to you. And again, the head and neck are in line with the spine. Chin is off my chest to get that oxygen right up into that belly from your lungs, right up into the belly. And now that diaphragm is pushing that oxygen where it needs to go. So while we're working, that oxygen, as long as you're breathing, is going to go into the muscles we're working. So we're just going to relax, try to gain some elasticity in our joints so that we have more range of motion, and we're going to work some muscles so that we have the strength. And let's start with deep breaths in right into your belly. Fill up that belly and exhale down. And notice the knees are staying nice and soft, knees and toes facing the same direction as you're breathing. And down. And big reach up if you can without hyperextending any joints. Exhale down and let's start with our full body warm up. Starting with the neck, I'm going to inhale, look down, exhale, rolling my chin to the right shoulder. And inhale, look down, exhale, rolling your chin to your left shoulder. Inhale, look down, and this will be your right shoulder. It's my left, I know. And inhale, look down, exhale, rolling your chin to your left shoulder. Big breath in, look down. Exhale, rolling your chin to your right, and I'm going to hold it right here, gaining more strength and elasticity in my neck. Deep breath in, just in case you're sitting in your car. And I'm going to look in back of me as I exhale a little bit more. Inhale, look down. Exhale, rolling your chin to your left, and don't do anything that hurts. If you're feeling anything uncomfortable, don't do it. Inhale. Exhale, look over a little bit further, and again, it's like you're sitting in your car and you're trying to look in the back seat or behind you. Inhale, look down. Exhale, rolling your chin to your chest. Trying to get my chin really close to the chest, getting the 7 vertebrae in the neck, a nice stretch. Inhale. Exhale, look up and kiss the sky, working the facial and the neck muscles. Deep breath in. Exhale, let's look down. See how it's harder to breathe when that head and neck are not in line with the spine, but we need to move our neck. Inhale. Exhale, look up and kiss the sky. Again, that's going to work the facial muscles and the neck muscles. Inhale. And exhale, look down. I'm going to use my hands. Give that chin a little more range of motion, getting that chin right to that chest, getting that diaphragm starting to work for me, giving the 7 vertebrae in the neck a nice stretch. Inhale. Exhale, let's look up and kiss the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale, head and neck in line with the spine, chin is off your chest. I'm going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale. I'm going to take the left palm, push down, trying to get that left shoulder far away from that left ear, giving the stress, releasing stress right here out of the neck. And I'm going to take it over to the other side. Inhale. Left ear to left shoulder, right palm, push. And let's do that again. Inhale and exhale, push. You don't have to put your hand on your head if you don't want. It's up to you. Deep breath in and exhale and push. You can always help that head a little bit if you want to. Head and neck in line with the spine, chin is off your chest. So remember, do whatever's comfortable for you. Anything uncomfortable, just don't do it. Just sit and breathe, or stand and breathe. And let's go with our shoulders. I'm going to take them one at a time as I roll them back. And I'm going to roll back. And again, to your range of motion. So if you can, lift it up a little bit higher. Remember to breathe. Muscles will not work if you're not breathing. And also, your lymphatic fluid will not flow if you're not moving. So just give it a little bit of movement, get the fluids flowing in your body. And that's only for your protection. It's actually natural medicine, the medicine we have in our bodies for self-healing. Make sure you're breathing and you're moving. It doesn't have to be fast, it doesn't have to be hard. So again, if you can't go all the way up, down is fine. Just to your range of motion, but you want to be able to move a little bit. I'm going to take them both down and I'm going to bring them both to the front as I inhale. I'm going to exhale, get the shoulder blades behind me, opening up the upper back. Open up the chest and open up the back. So we warmed up the neck muscles, we're warming up the shoulders, the back, and the chest. I'm going to do that just one more time so you can inhale or exhale wherever you feel comfortable, taking it all the way down. So that was the chest, the back. We work the shoulders and the neck, and we're not done the shoulders, but we're going to push up the sky now, and I'm going to put the weight into the same leg of the arm that's coming up and push, and that's going to give me a shorter range of motion, yes, but it's going to give me a bigger stretch all the way down into my hip. Feels really good. And remember, if you want to just sit and listen to the music, it's really nice music. And just give yourself a little bit of movement. So whatever you can do, whether you're inside, you're outside, beautiful day for outside work. I'm going to take it over to the left, and then I'm going to hold up that sky. Big inhale. I'm going to exhale to the right side. I'm going to hold to your point of tension. You're feeling the stretch all the way down into the hip. Inhale. Exhale to your left. Big inhale. Exhale to your right. Big inhale. Exhale to your left. So every time I'm coming over, that's why I do a few of these, I'm getting more range of motion. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to take it to the right. I'm going to hold it here. So remember, to your range of motion till you feel it. If you can only go up here, that's fine. Inhale, exhale, take it down a little bit more. Remember that exhalation is going to relax your muscles, allowing the muscles to work a little bit harder for you. Inhale, exhale up, and that's for every day, everything you do. So think of that. Inhale. So when you exhale, you're going to be able to come down a little bit further. Big inhale. Exhale all the way up, and I'm going to do the backstroke back. So I'm not done my shoulders yet. Taking them back, and I'm going to follow with my core. This is a little Tai Chi coming in here. Okay, it's almost like I'm doing my walk backwards in Tai Chi, but I'm just lifting, putting the weight into the opposite arm and the opposite leg right here. So it's like I'm walking, almost like you're filling up your leg with water and you're emptying the other leg. Fill up this leg and empty. And then I'm going to take it down and just relax. Now you can use your hands or you don't have to. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you with no hands first. I'm going to take my hips, so I'm still moving my hips. I'm going to take them over here. I'm going to take myself down and around. So my hips are coming to the right and my shoulders are coming to the left. And I'm just taking myself, folding at the hips, and I'm going to lift up. And I'm going to use my arms. You don't have to. And you don't have to go down this low. Remember your range of motion. I've been doing this for years and years. And that's what it takes. It takes practice. It takes time. Breathe. So again, every time I'm folding those hips and I'm moving my hips, I am actually stimulating my kidneys. So you want those kidneys stimulated. And again, all of this is done natural, sending off the natural medicine in your body, getting fluids flowing. And again, this is our warm-up before our workout. And now I'm just going to fold, so it's just like a bow. And again, I'm going to stand to the side so you see how my back stays straight, how I'm folding here at the hips. And I'm going to feel this right in back of here. These are your hamstring muscles and your glutes. I'm going to feel my core, of course, because my core is nice and tall here. You don't have to use your hands. Okay, and you don't have to go down that low. Make sure you've got that breath. All the way up. I'm going to do that one more time. Down. And now I'm going to bring my hands down like a bird, like you're flying like a bird. And again, I'm working the deltoid muscles. So those shoulders again, biggest shoulder muscle that we have is right here in the middle. And that's what I'm working. And notice the wrists are nice and light. So they call these girl hands. So you're just coming up and down. But again, I'm using this muscle to do this. I'm going to do some squats. So if you need a chair, you need something to hold on to, chair, wall, whatever's next to you. I'm going to sit down and then I'm going to stand up. So again, you can always do this sitting in a chair and standing up. Notice the knees right over the ankles, toes and knees are still forward. Spine is nice and long, head and neck in line with the spine. So this, you're going to feel in the quadricep and the glutes, okay? If you're feeling anything in the back of the knees, take your feet out a little wider. And if you still do, just don't go down that low. Really listen to your body talks to you. So again, I'm not doing this. So my shoulders want to stay right up here. My knees right over those ankles. Warming up the biggest quadricep muscle group we have, the quadriceps. Biggest muscle we have right back here. Warm them up. And I'm going to do this one more time. Standing up and warming up around the knees. If anything hurts, don't do it. If that bothers you, please don't. And you can always do this sitting in your chair. Just rolling, rolling. And I'm going to roll the other way. So all the way around. Hold on to something anytime you need to. That's why I have my chair here. But I'm not going to lean over here like this because I want my shoulders even. I want my hips even. And I want the top of my head to the ceiling. I'm going to open and close. So what I'm doing, opening and closing and rolling these knees, not for pain. You don't want to feel any pain. This is just strengthening muscles all around the knees. Okay? And I'm going the other way. So this will be your outer thigh as I come out, inner thigh as I come in. Outer and inner, so all the ligaments and tendons they're all connected to the knee. They're all getting stronger. So they're going to protect that knee, protect that cartilage. And you're breathing. And now I'm going to come up on one foot, sorry. I've got my heel up and I'm just going to circle my ankle. Okay. Keeping my hips right here, straight, not moving them. I'm going to lift up and balance. And again, my shoulders are even. Let's go the other way with that ankle. You can keep it on the floor. You can have a seat and roll. You can pick it up. I'm going to take that right down and I'm going over to the other side. So get your balance and roll. Remember, try not to do this because once you do this, you're off balance, okay? We want to keep ourselves on balance. And let's go around the other way. One good way to look at it is look at children. Look at their pictures of children. When you see them sitting and playing, they're usually sitting straight up. Their head and neck are in line with the spine. They're not flopped over. I'm going to take it down. I'm going to spread my toes. You just see the position, the way that we were brought up to do. That's just a natural thing. The baby will be sitting there. Yes, yes, no, until they get older and they start to think. You got more stuff in your head and you start to come down. So just keep your body upright and let's get back into it. Can you spread the toes without spreading your fingers? And then wiggle. You want to keep those toes nice and strong. Okay, you want to keep the weight on the heel and under the big toe and the baby toe. So that's where your weight is. Your toes are nice and loose. Knees are soft. I'm going to go with a bicycle march and I'm going to start moving my fingers. And while I'm moving these fingers, I'm going to face my chair. If you're facing me, that's great, but this is just so that you get the full posture, so I don't have to keep moving. I'm going to close my wrists, my hands nice and light, not too tight, because once you go too tight, you're going to strain muscles in that forearm. So nice and light and just roll. Nice deep breaths. When you're ready, if you can stand, if your body tells you, or if you feel like you're going to fall, keep walking. I'm going to roll the other way. going to wiggle my fingers and see how much easier it is to wiggle those fingers after you've loosened up the wrists, okay? Wrists and ankles are gateways into your body, all right? So those fingers and those feet will work better for you if you just give your ankles and your wrists a little roll a few times a day, especially if you've been sitting for a long time or walking for a long time or reading a book, holding the book up or on the computer. All those things are really going to do some damage to those hands and start blocking energy from going into your hands and out of your hands. So give those wrists a little roll. And let's get ready. Mountain pose again. Shoulders, hips, knees and ankles in line, toes and knees in line. Yep, toes and knees facing the same direction right here. Knees are soft, elbows soft, hitting my thighs when they come next to me. Ears are right over my shoulders. Nice deep diaphragmatic breath. And out. Feel the belly getting skinnier as you exhale. And let's begin. First one is downward facing dog. Deep breath in, reach up. I'm going to fold right into my chair. So if you'd like to use the floor, that's fine. Basically the chair is my floor that I brought up. I'm going to walk my feet back. If you're on the floor, walk your hands back, your feet back, whatever you need. I'm going to bring my tailbone to the ceiling as my ears go right in between those arms and stretch. Feeling that stretch up the back of the arms, down the sides of your back. Feeling that head being pulled into the chair, but tailbone pulling back, so that whole spine is getting a nice stretch. I got the tailbone up, so I'm getting a stretch in that low back, hamstring. I'm gonna walk my dog or get my heels to the floor, getting a nice stretch in my calf. So all posterior stretching going on right here. You're breathing. Especially want this in the back of my arms right here. Oh yeah, feels so good. Push those palms right into that chair. Now I want to push my hands down because I don't want to push my chair away from me. And again, you can always do this on the floor, but I brought the floor up for some of us. I'm going to come up on my toes and go into a plank pose. And this is a great push-up pose right here. If this is too much on your wrist, come down on your forearms. Wrists are nice and light. So my shoulders are right over my elbows. I'm feeling this all right here. So if you're not, your butt might be up here too far. Lower it down. Lower yourself. And if you want a challenge, you can try to lift a leg. And you're going to feel that in that glute. Also feeling that core holding you steady. If you can, lift an arm. Lift an arm and a leg if you can. And breathe. And I'm going to switch. Either leg or arm, or just stay. You are going to feel that right here. You might be starting to shake. That's okay, it's normal. Make sure you're breathing. Give it some nice deep breaths. Spine is long. I'm going to take that down. And I'm going to Chaturanga. So I'm going to scoop up into upward facing dog. Belly button goes into the chair or on the floor. I'm going to look up, giving my back a sag. And I'm going to exhale into downward dog. So that was up dog and this is down dog. And we're back to where we started, downward facing dog. Heels to the floor or walk your dog. Tailbone to the ceiling. Head and neck are in line with the spine. My ears are right by my elbows. My palms are right here. And again, if you have problems with your wrists, come right down. This is fine. It's called a shorter lever. That's all it is. Same exercise. I'm going to go into warrior one from here. So your right foot comes in between the chair legs or in between your hands if you're on the floor. Left foot came in about 25 degrees towards my midsection. Back is staying straight. I'm going to take myself up. See how I took my chair right with me. Feet evenly, weight evenly distributed on both feet. If you can, both arms up. Shoulders and hips. Knee and ankle right there. This knee soft, knee and toe facing same direction on both sides. Warrior one pose. And breathe. This is a balance pose right here. Strengthening up your balance as I'm standing to the side. We don't do this every day. See my toes? I could wiggle them. I'm not standing on my toe. I'm going to take this into Warrior 3 pose. So Warrior 3, I'm coming up on my toe. If you need your chair, just take it right back. Coming forward. Okay, so I stayed straight right here. Lift the leg if you can. If you can't, just come down. Knee is soft. Hold on to your chair. Lift. Let go if you can. Hips, shoulders facing the floor. Right here, so try not to go over here. It's going to take you right off balance. Leg is up if you can, really working that glute. Hands are out. Balance, everything balancing right here on this leg. So that right leg is really, really full. Think of it as full of water. Left leg is empty. Okay, even if it's down here, you don't have any weight on it. Really working that ankle, that right ankle hard. I'm going to take it down back to my Warrior 1. And again, if you need your chair anytime, notice I'm not pulling my chair like this. I just reached down, grabbed it. And now I'm going into Warrior 2. So I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I exhale, my shoulders and my hips turn at the same time. My hands come down. My chin's going right over your right shoulder. Chin right over your right shoulder. Look right over your right fingertips. And breathe. So I am feeling that pull in that inner thigh as I moved. My feet didn't move. My arms came down. Chin right over. So again, I'm getting a nice strengthening right here. Strengthening in the shoulders. Lifting myself up to the heavens, right up to the ceiling, grounded right into the floor. I'm going to take this into a triangle, which is a side bend. So I'm going to take it down and this arm up. Your chair, right there. Leg if you can, if you have the balance. Take it down. Now if you feel yourself getting a little bit dizzy, just get that head right up there, over the heart. Once that head is under the heart, you're getting some oxygen, some more oxygenated blood into that head, which is going to make you a little bit more dizzy. But if you're all set, shoulders and hips again are forward. You're breathing. Knees are still soft. I'm slowly going to bring this up. Again, if you need your chair, that's absolutely fine. Knees and toes now both forward. I'm going to do inverted triangle. So it's just a spinal twist, core rotation. Hips are here. I'm going to hold on to my leg with my right hand. Left arm is coming up. If you can, fold. You know your range of motion, so do what you can. Okay. I'm opening up my shoulders, opening up that chest as I look up. And again, if you feel dizzy, head stays right up here. If you need to hold on to your chair or wall or whatever you have around you, absolutely fine. I'm just going to take this down. And this is called Ragdoll. I'm just kind of hanging out here, dropping the shoulder blades down toward the floor. I'm going to hold on to my elbows so my hands don't touch. But if you're right here, this is fine, especially if you get dizzy. Keep the head up over the heart. And just hang. It's just like you're hanging out. Tailbone to the ceiling, getting a nice stretch in my back, opening up the upper back again. Drop the shoulder blades right down to the floor and breathe. I'm going to hold on to my quads and I'm going to cat arch my way up. Tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin under. Exhale as you're coming up. Head always comes up last. And I'm going to take it up. And I'm going into my chair pose. So we did this sit down, stand up. So if you want to pretend you're sitting in a chair, it's fine. Looks like I'm sitting, but I'm not. So again, knees directly over my ankles, head and shoulders facing the ceiling. Hands are wherever. If you need to hold on, fine. If you can hold on to your quads, or bring them here. Can you come up and down on your toes? Work into those calf muscles. Can you come up on your toes and balance? It's not easy. Breathe. Can you bring your heels to the floor? Big inhale. Exhale as you bring yourself up. Squeeze those glutes. Deep breath in, reach up. And exhale down. Good job. Can you give yourself a little bicycle march? Anytime you need a drink, grab a drink. I should have told you that earlier, but anytime. I'm going to do some balance poses while I'm standing here. So just on your right foot, so we're working all on your right side. I'm going to take my your left foot, place it in front of your right. So if you can stand like this, keep those hips and shoulders even, head up to the ceiling. If you can let go, great. Come up on your toe. If you need to hold on, lift the leg. If you can let go, that's great. Here. And this is called a rooster, standing on your right foot. Okay, this is another Tai Chi pose. They call it the Golden Rooster. Actually, it would look like this. This is even harder. Working all my voluntary muscles. I'm going to take this into a tree, so I'm going to bring that here. Open up, inner thigh again, adductor muscle needs to be worked. I'm going to squeeze the glute and I'm going to open up that knee, bring it out. So you can place the foot on your calf muscle or on your quad, depending on how far up you can get. And you can balance. As I fall over, I'm going to keep it down here. We all have one side that's stronger than the other, okay? So remember that, especially if you've had ankle problems. I'm going to take this into a dancer pose. So I'm going to modify. I'll show you the modification first. I'm standing here, now look at the tailbone. How it goes under, so my belly button just went way in. And I'm going to kneel down. I'm not touching the floor, but I'm going to feel that from the hip to the quad. Dancer pose would look like this. Here, I'm going to take it down. I'm going to open. And I'm going to really open up here. And I'm going to breathe, feeling the quadricep get a nice stretch, tucking your tailbone, feeling that hip flexor. And I'm going to take it down or up wherever you are. Walk around, wiggle the fingers, march it out. Big breaths. See, my arms are just dangling by my side. That means that I'm not stiff. That means that I have no blockage. That means I'm getting all the energy throughout my whole body. If I stood here, I'm going to block energy from going into my arms. I'm just going to relax. Let it happen. It takes more energy to stop and hold yourself tight. Just relax. Let it go. Deep breath in and out. Remember that diaphragmatic breath. Again, listen to the music. I'm going to move my chair, so whichever way you are, we're going to be using the left side of our body now. So all the same poses, but on the left side. So a few of them we can do a little faster, because we've already done the downward dog and the plank and some of the poses, but once we hold our pose to the left, we're going to stress that. Back is in a natural curve, okay? We're not trying to stick our butts out, but you're just standing. Everything all in line. It's called mountain pose. So we feel like a big tall mountain. Okay, in Tai Chi we call this a commencing form. So that means in Tai Chi it's the same thing, but in Tai Chi they think more of loosening up the body, relaxing, let everything go. All right, so Tai Chi and yoga are basically the same. All right, but yoga, we try to build a little bit more muscle, gain more muscle. I'm going to go into my downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, exhale, fold, either on the floor or the chair, walking the feet back. Tailbone to the ceiling, walk your dog, push your palms into the chair. Remember, push down, not away. You want to push down. Watch yourself. If you feel that chair moving a little bit, bring yourself up here. Push down or don't do it at all. I'm getting a nice stretch. You can do it on the floor if you can reach the floor and stretch that spine. Ears are right beside the elbows. Palms are pushed into the chair. Coming on my toes into my plank pose. And again, we can get some of these done a little bit faster because we already did them. If you want a challenge, lift a leg or an arm or both. I'm going to take one and the other. Back is still nice and long. Knees are soft, both sides, elbows are soft. Okay. And I'm going to switch. Okay, starting to create a little heat in our body just through movement. So remember that if you get cold, instead of just sitting down and wrapping up in a blanket, try to get up and give yourself a little bit of movement. Even if you're doing your sit down, stand up, your squats, that's a great one to turn that heat up in your body. I'm gonna go into Chaturanga, upward dog, inhale. Exhale into downward dog. Okay, so those are some of the ones we did on the other side. Now we're gonna stress our balance. Left foot now comes in between the chair legs for warrior one. Right here, right toes came in about 25 degrees towards my midsection. You need your chair, take it with you. So again, my hips and shoulders just turned, my feet didn't go anywhere, they stayed the same. Right there. Back is still in a natural curve. Try not to bring it out here or tuck it way in. Get rid of that rounded back thing. Keep those shoulders right underneath the ears. Keeping the weight distributed, both feet. Toes are loose. Now I'm going to come up on my back toe. I'm going into warrior three pose. So it goes from 1 to 3. So I modified it so it would be a little bit so we're not twisting and turning so much. We do enough of that. We do enough of that during the day that we don't even realize. Hips and shoulders facing the floor. If you can, hands up or hold on to your chair or foot down. Lift up, fold it right here. Or fold. Really getting a workout in this left leg now. Remember, ankles are, they have to be strong. They have to be strong for balance. And we balance as soon as we stand up. Okay? If we're standing on one foot, we really have to think about that balance. I'm going to take it back to warrior one. All right, good job. Big breaths. So again, try not to stick your butt out or bring it in. Nice and tall. I'm going to exhale into warrior two. So now my shoulders and my hips came forward. Again, my feet are not moving. Hands coming down. Looking over the left shoulder now, trying to get that chin right over. Look at your fingertips. Hips and shoulders are forward. Nice stretch here in this adductor muscle I'm feeling as those legs, that hip turn. Breathe. Nice and relaxed, nice and strong. So again, feeling that inner thigh, feeling those shoulders getting a little heavy. If you need to put them down, fine. If you need a drink, grab a drink. You need a potty break, not a party break, a potty break. Laughter is the best medicine, so why not? Think of a couple jokes to tell during the day while you're standing here. Look at the toes, nice and loose. Can we do our triangle? So it's just a side bend. Okay, feeling that all the way down here. And again, if you feel dizzy, keep the head right here. Don't come down any lower. If you can, come down. Shoulders and hips facing forward. I'm going to look up and breathe. Nice and loose. Open. Again, if you feel dizzy, get that head right up over the heart. Don't challenge yourself in that way. If you feel dizzy, don't say, well, I can get through this, because you'll probably end up on the floor and you don't want to do that. I'm going to bring myself all the way up. Again, if you need your chair, fine. Toes and knees are forward. Inverted triangle. So see how I just twisted myself the opposite direction. My hips are staying here. Spinal twist, core rotation. If you can, take it down and lift up and breathe. Feeling dizzy, head up. That's all. Same exercise. It's called a shoulder lever. That's all. It's just a little bit shorter, and we're all different. We all have our different days. We all have our different ailments. Only do what you can do. Take it to Ragdoll. This is the best. hanging out right here. If you can, drop the top of your head down to the floor. It's going to give you oxygen exchange going on into your brain. So keep breathing. And again, I'm holding on to the elbows. I'm dropping the shoulder blades right down to the floor. So I'm just hanging here. And I can come down a little bit lower, and I don't want to touch the floor, so I'm going to just cross. And I'm going to cat arch my way up. Hold on to the quads. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin in. Exhale. And lifting all the way up. Head comes up last. And now I'm going to do my chair pose again. So again, your feet are where you need them to be. I'm going to sit down. And again, it's like I'm sitting in a chair, but I'm not. Knees. If you can't come down that low, that's fine. Just until you're feeling it here. Biggest muscle group we have are in your quadriceps. So we have 4 great big muscles and a whole bunch of little muscles. Big muscle right here. Those are the 2 you're feeling. I'm sitting down. Again, if you need to hold on, that's fine. Onto a wall, a rope, whatever you got. You got that pole. Whatever you got around you. No judgment. We're not watching. So just as long as you can, and remember, we're turning the heat up. So anytime you get cold, if you can just stand up and sit down, just a few times, you feel the heat coming up. Big inhale, exhale your way all the way up. Shh. And inhale, and exhale. I'm gonna grab my chair for some balance poses. Again, this time on the left side. So notice the spine staying straight every time I'm moving my chair. I don't have to do this and this. I don't want to pull anything here. So let's stand. Yeah, rooster standing on your left foot. I'm going to take the right foot, place it here. If you can let go of the chair, that's great. Have it beside you, right here. If you can lift up. If you can let go of the chair. Even one hand and hold on to the chair. Try not to lean though, just hold on. Both arms. Rooster standing on your left foot. Again, ankle, nice and loose. Remember, you need tough ankles to balance, especially on one foot. I'm going to move this into a tree, so I'm bringing that on the inside of my calf muscle. Okay, so I'm going to push my foot in if you can. Again, hips and shoulders want to stay nice and even here. Once I come over here, I lose my balance to fall over, which I don't want to, and I'm going to lift up. So again, this is a tree, and I'm going to open my knee up and feel that inner thigh. So that big adductor muscle that does have, whoop, I'm falling over. It does have a lot to do with your balance and your walking and how you walk. Okay, so you want to keep that strong. Just like your quadriceps that we worked when we did our squats, and our hamstrings that we worked when we did our folded forward. Okay, and I'm going to take this into my dancer pose. So when you're ready, I'm going to modify. Toe just went back. I just stood sideways. Tuck my tailbone right under. See how my shoulders came right over my hip. Tailbone tucked under. Lower down like you're kneeling to either pick something up, or you're at church, you're kneeling down for something. Okay, so this is going to give me a stretch here and here. Dancer pose can be here. So whichever way you can do it, you're getting a nice stretch here in that quad, and that's big muscle right there. So that's so important to stretch. And the hip flexor, if you can tuck that tailbone under. All right, I'm pushing my hand into my foot into my hand if you can. Head and neck are in line with my spine to get the oxygen in and out without interruption. I'm balancing still on that left foot. I'm going to take this down or up, depending on where you are, and bicycle. Whew. And that, working the lower body, really gets that heart rate up, really gets the heat turned up in your body. So notice I'm marching, arms are dangling, breathing. Heat turned way up here. So when you're ready, if you can, just stand, listen to the music, and breathe. Now we're going to try to have a seat and do some exercises seated. And again, I'm going to be facing you, and I'm going to just turn my chair every once in a while. If you want to use the floor, absolutely fine. Sit on the floor, on your bed, on the couch. But I'm just going to sit for now. Okay. If you're on the floor, just sit down with your legs out, but don't lock your knees. So you don't want your knees here. You want a slight bend. You're nice and relaxed. Sits bones are either stuck to the floor or your chair. Shoulders should be 90 degrees from your hips. If you're on your chair, your hips are 90 degrees from your knees. And if you're on your chair, your knees are 90 degrees from your ankles. If you're on the floor, just let that lower body relax and just think about this body right here, and that's going to help you use these muscles right here to lengthen. And again, look at a child's picture sitting down. They're usually sitting just like this. Okay, they haven't learned to do this yet or this. They just sit like this. Nice deep breaths in. I'm going to do a seated spinal twist, starting with your right leg crosses over your left above your kneecap. If you can't cross the leg, cross the ankles. It's not a big deal. If you're on the floor, put one foot on the floor, and let's go into a spinal twist. So I'm going to take the left hand, wrap it right around the right leg, right hand on the back of my chair, and I'm going to twist. Oh, this feels so good. Make sure you give it a big exhalation. Twist a little more. Big exhalation, twist a little more. And I'm going to roll my ankle and my wrist. So we're rolling joints while we're sitting here. Happy as can be. Stretching that spine, getting lubricants flowing through the core, through the spine, through the wrist and the ankle, going the other way with those joints, and breathe. I'm going to relax those joints. Big inhalation. Exhale yourself as you come forward. Remember that exhalation is going to relax those muscles, enabling them to move a little bit easier for you. And now I'm going to do what's called the Cradle Pose. If you can, just try it. It's going to give you a nice stretch right here in that outer hip, which we work hard, sitting down, standing up, bending over. Everything we do, getting in and out of our car especially, and going right into that low back, your sciatic. And most of us have problems with that sciatic because we don't do this stretch. So this stretch is really going to help us. I'm going to push the fatty part of the knee down. I don't want to grab my kneecap because I don't want it to fall off. Right here. And then I'm just going to lower my chest. So again, if you're on the floor, you can do the same thing with this leg just hanging out. Just lean forward. Or if you'd like to, grab onto it like it's a baby. And again, I'm feeling this stretch, outer hip, lower back. So my sciatic hip wraps right around into that knee. All right, so it's a really tight muscle because we work it all the time. As soon as we get out of bed, as soon as we stand up. Okay, so try to think about stretching this just about, once a day, a couple times if you can. Make sure you're breathing. Remember that oxygen is going to help that muscle to work. Exhale is going to relax, enable you to come down a little bit lower. Keep your back nice and straight. So if you can't come down, this is as far as you can come, as long as you're feeling it. I'm going to tuck the chin in and roll myself up. And I'm going to do all those on the other side. Okay, so seated spinal twist. Keep your sits bones on the chair. So try not to lift up because you put your back out. If you can't cross the knees, cross the ankle. If you're on the floor, just cross one leg over. Exhale. And let's roll those joints. And again, lubricants flowing all around my spine. They don't know where to go, but they're getting into little crevices, little cells that don't usually get this. Well, we don't usually do this stretch, so they don't usually get into this lubricating into these joints. I'm going to roll the joints the other way. And when you're sitting in your car and you have to get out, we have to do this. We got to turn around and get out of the car, or we're getting into a small space. You're at the movies, which hopefully will be coming soon. We got to get in and out of that chair. Move over. And I'm going to relax those joints. Big exhalation is going to take me forward. And I'm going to cradle. If you can, place the ankle on your quad, fatty part of the knee down. Exhale forward. And again, I'm feeling that right up in here. And I'm going to show you from the side. So if you can grab that leg and pull it up. Really feel it. Whatever you can do. We're not in competition. Okay, so wherever you feel it, that's the main thing we're getting to, is where you're going to feel it. You do what you need to do to feel this stretch in that sciatic. Okay, so right here, cradle pose. It's like you're holding a baby puppy, a baby kitty, a baby bunny. Okay, or you can hold it up here. You want to feel that in that lower back, side of your hip, and that wraps right into the front of that quad. So you're going to feel that all those muscles right there get a stretch. Even if this is as low as you can go, absolutely fine, to your point of tension, till you feel it. It's not a competition, remember. We're just doing, because I should be able to go down a little bit lower because I've been doing this for 25, 30 years. And I try to do it every day. I probably don't, but every other day, yes. Tucking the chin in, exhale as you roll up. Ooh. And then I'm just going to relax, and I'm going to turn my chair. You can stay right where you are. I'm going to walk my sits bones out. So there's this much of the chair. I'm going to walk my feet out. If you're on the floor, just bend your knees a little bit, and we're going to do some ab rocking. So your hands are wherever you need to. If you need to hold on to your chair, just drop your shoulder blades to the chair. Can you touch that chair? See my back? And lift up. And this is all going to work into that whole core. You need to breathe, or that core will not work. If you can, bring your arms up. And with this music, we can actually rock ourselves to sleep. I'm going to hold it halfway, so I'm almost touching the chair or the floor, depending on where you are. I'm going to lift one leg. If I'm on the chair especially, I only want one leg up. If you're on the floor, try to lift them both. And you're going to feel that whole core start to shake. Okay, anything with the hands, if you need to hold on. If you can, hold them here. I'm going to switch leg. If you're on the floor, you can do alternating legs, or you can keep them both up for as long as you can. Make sure your head's not here, because that means your back's working, your shoulders are working. Keep them relaxed. Let it all come right out of here, right out of that core. Take it down, palms facing up to the ceiling. Drop the back to the chair or the floor. Lay down and relax. My neck now is in a natural curve, okay, so I've got my chin up a little bit. Okay, back is in a natural curve, so that means I'm not trying to strain myself here. It's just in a natural curve. Knees are in a natural curve, even if you're laying on the floor. Palms are up to get those shoulders back, and relax. Breathe and listen to the music, but feel the energy through your whole body, all the way from the bottom of your feet, all the way up. That energy actually goes around your hips, okay? So that's why we folded forward, and then we kind of came around and let those hips go around like that. All right, that's why we did that, just so that energy will go around and around. And then the energy finds its way right up your body, right up through your vertebrae, 7 vertebrae here in the neck, right up into your head. That energy actually comes down back of your ear, rolls down the inside of your arm, and comes right into your hands. So you might feel your hands getting warmer. If you're on the floor, you're welcome to stay there. I'm going to sit up. If you're on the floor or on the chair, we're all going to take our hand up, and we're going to do what's called a cow arch. So now I'm going to lift my back up. So if you're on the floor, the lower back comes right up off the floor, and I'm going to exhale and take it down. So it's like you have a string on your belly button. Inhale, pull that string, and exhale down. And inhale, pull that string. Nice back stretch. Give it that oxygen it deserves. That back works hard for you all day. Inhale. Pull that string, big stretch up, and exhale down, keeping your spine nice and long. Even if you're on the floor, natural curve, just relax. If you're on the floor, just relax there. Otherwise, if you want to, you can take your hands and almost touch each other here. Take them down right in front of your heart. Okay, so we have a thing that's called a heart-mind. Okay, your heart and your mind basically think the same thing. So you know when you're sad, your mind is sad, you're thinking sad things, your heart is usually sad, okay? So if your heart is sad, if you have a broken heart, you're usually sad. They call that heart-mind. Let's put them together. Think of all the good things. Think of all the good things we just did to our bodies, how we're bringing the fluids flowing, sending off natural medicine, bringing the endorphins, getting the endorphins running. So that means burning calories at the same time. You're breathing. Nothing will work if you're not breathing. So don't think you're going to lose weight if you just hold your breath, because you won't. You need to breathe. You need to relax your shoulders, drop them. Sits bones stuck, you're relaxed. Big breath in, fill up that belly. Exhale. And namaste. Thank you.